Hey guys, so I got a question here on Instagram in the DMs. Shout out to Dr. Jaws for this one. The question is, do you think doctors should be on social media at all? What are your thoughts on some of the controversial stories surrounding docs and their posts on social media? So, shots fired, right? I think this is a really good question. Obviously, social media is a big part of a lot of people's lives these days. I got a few points I think that might be helpful in talking about this. Point number one is probably some doctors shouldn't be on social media. I'm laughing about it, but there's a serious side to it. I think that if someone chooses to use social media as an extension of their recreation, to do what they enjoy, that's their right. But if the things that you're posting are going to be representative of yourself as a medical professional, then a whole host of standards and expectations comes into play. I think that we have to, as medical professionals, keep in mind that social media is kind of the ultimate tool for communication in the modern world. And so anything you're posting there is sort of an amplification. There's basically a megaphone in front of you broadcasting what you're saying and the message that you're conveying out to the world. And so I think if someone feels that they can't post responsibly on social media, then maybe they shouldn't be there. All right. So that's point number one. I think point number two is that what we have to consider is that, especially these days, conversations are happening on social media that aren't happening elsewhere. And by that, what I mean is, when I look at people like it's sort of in my dad's age group, they tend to get their information from network news, from newspapers like in the New York Times, Washington Post, and those are the sources, the authoritative sources of information in their lives. When I see folks in my age group though, millennials, and especially when I look at people in Gen Z, the younger kids, totally different. We don't watch network news. A lot of us don't have cable television subscriptions at all. Our media consumption primarily revolves around the internet and social media, whether it be YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, all of these apps. These are the places that we get our information. And so if a conversation is going to happen where information is spread to the widest number of people in our age group, it kind of has to take place on social media. I think that's particularly become obvious and important as we've seen sort of what's happened during this pandemic. We have all sorts of theories and conspiracy theories and just general confusion that's spread like wildfire around the internet, that's actually making it increasingly difficult for us as a society to figure out what's the truth, get on the same page, and figure out how to move forward. And so we're seeing the danger of not having qualified people who have a voice on social media and are able to have those conversations. And my last sort of point with this, it really has to do with representation. It doesn't escape me that as a black man in medicine, I'm certainly in a minority, and on my way to this point in my career, it was always very difficult to find people who sort of recognizably shared my background, who were in the positions that I was trying to get into. And so now that I find myself in this position, I know 100% that there are people coming up behind me who are in the same exact boat. And while I might not be able to talk to those people in person and may never run into them face to face, through social media, we can communicate. And that's powerful. You know, I always used to say when I was advising students back in medical school, pre-medical students who were interested in med school, I would say, you should find your mentors by piecing them together. Find your role models the same way, because it's, you know, difficult sometimes to find someone who really embodies all of the different characteristics, qualities that you want to have in yourself. And so social media helps to bridge that gap and increase representation. I think it's a powerful way to contribute to a solution for that issue. Great question. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.